I want to take just a second to go over some details about your final project that I hope will help it to make a little more sense. Your final project, which of course was introduced to you in the very beginning of the class, the instructions for that are quite long, and there's all different kinds of pieces that you have to meet of that final project. But what I want to be sure that you're aware of is that a lot of the pieces of the final project you are building as you're going through the class. For example, the final project has a section that says, discuss how individuals were represented in the advertisements that you chose, okay? In week 2, I think it's week 2, or is it week 1? Early in the course, you have already completed an assignment where you have assessed how individuals were represented in your ads. So you do not have to reinvent the wheel for that section for your final project. Now, students will say, can I just copy and paste then what I wrote in that assignment about how individuals were represented? My answer to that would be maybe. You can just copy and paste and put it into your final project if it makes sense to do so. A few things, few notes of caution about that. One, if you did not get a perfect score on that assignment, I would definitely review the feedback that you got to see what it is that needs to be changed. 2, the final project should be sort of like written like a research paper, So that's relevant because the content and the way that you wrote about how individuals were represented in your ads, for example, the way that you wrote about it in an earlier assignment, you may need to tweak the wording of that for it to make sense in a narrative way in your final project, if that makes sense. Not every single component of the final project will have been covered in previous assignments, but if I were a student taking this course, I would take special note of what those topics are. Perhaps even after you complete an assignment, look at the assignment requirements and the questions that you answered and see if any of those apply to the final project as well. Go ahead and copy and paste and stick your information over so that you can edit it and update it and revise it when you get ready to put the whole thing together. I hope that makes sense. One final thing, students ask, will I get dinged for self-plagiarism if I've copied and pasted from a previous assignment? As long as it's within the same course, so it's in this class that you took with me this term, copy and pasting from a previous assignment will not show up as plagiarism if you put those words into another assignment in the same class. Again, for most people, it's going to require you revising some of it, but still, it should give you a pretty good foundation. You should be building that foundation for your final project along the way. I hope this helps. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am here to help.